Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And today it is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? We're celebrating the month of Black History Month, and joining me on today's episode is Queen Savage. Queen, my queen, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I am doing awesome. First, I just want to say I love the cosplay choice that you went with. I love Raven. You're the first Raven that we've had up here on Who's That Cosplayer. So thank you so much for choosing that cosplay.
Yes, this is one of my favorite cosplays. I've actually cosplayed her a couple of times now.
Nice. I love that. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more once we get into the interview. So before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Queen, the first thing that I want to ask you, this is a question that I ask all of my guests, is what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who the Queen Savage is.
Well, Queen Savage. So how I got into this world, I had a big love for Halloween. Like Halloween is my favorite holiday. It's been like that since I was a little kid. I always like dressing up. Even if I wasn't like allowed to have like a costume, I was like a closet, like costume maker. I'll figure something out. And so when I got into college, that's when I could start like really celebrating the way I want to, because I have my own job, I have my own money. So my very first like costume cosplay was Molina from Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
And I've actually like enhanced that outfit that I've had for her like over the years and like added to it. And so every year I would get like 2 to 3 costumes, and like I was known for winning costume contests. Like I win a costume contest almost every year because I just take it that serious. I spend like $300 every year on costumes. And then it was like when quarantine happened, I got into TikTok because I was bored, and I just started making videos. And one of my biggest videos that went viral on TikTok, which I did like a cosplay of a scene from Avengers, where I was doing like Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and I literally had the whole scene going. It took me 3 hours to make this video. And I had like even my Doctor Strange costume, I used a Frisbee with a gold shirt to look like his little powers, and that blew up. And so I was like, well, I have been doing modeling for like a year or two. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing more like fantasy, more costumes and stuff. So I started doing like my photo shoots. Like I did the siren shoot, I did a vampire photo shoot. And I just started realizing that like, I really love this. Like I always been into anime since I was in middle school. Always loved comic books. I'm a big comic book nerd. I have a collection of comic books and I'm a big Marvel girl. So I was like, you know what? I actually like this. And last year around like September, I was like, I'm gonna take myself seriously. I'm gonna really start like cosplaying and like forget just doing this during like Halloween. I'm gonna do this all year long. So then that's when I got my Starfire. I got my Starfire cosplay. And then it's just been up from there. I've just been going back to my old costumes. Like I got this costume for Halloween back in 2019. And so I started going back to all the other ones I already had and started making videos and doing more photo shoots. And now I pretty much do this all the time.
Nice. Hey, that's a really nice origin story. I love how, it started off as, just doing something for Halloween and, just falling in love with it because of the video that went viral on TikTok and, the time that it took to make that video. I know, you said it took you like 3 hours to do it. And it's crazy because it takes so much time to do videos, like, editing videos for our podcast all the time. It's just like, it takes such a long time, but the editing part is the hard part, honestly. Like it takes the longest,
See, so I didn't know about editing and all that when I first got on TikTok. So like literally just filming the video took 3 hours because I didn't know that like you could record and like go back or put videos together. So I changed outfits for each scene. So I had like a whole big sheet of paper that I had wrote each line, each scene, and was like each character. And I had all the like outfits laid out on my bed. So I'd do one scene, I put my camera in one area, put the whole thing on, wig, everything, film it, then take it all off, change to the next outfit, put my camera somewhere else, do that one. And then I'm just going back and forth around my room all day. And then later on, I realized, oh, there's a thing like editing and stuff. I didn't have to do that. Okay, noted.
Yeah, that's always the fun thing when you find out that there is like an easier process to doing something, and it definitely makes things easier going along the lines. And I know that this may sound dumb, but I was talking with one of my friends who's also a cosplayer, Best Demi Guys, who interviewed it. You can watch it, is up here on YouTube. And she had posted a video on TikTok of her cosplaying as Dio. And she was trying to do the Dio pose where Dio does the back pose and he drops to the ground. And I had asked her, I was just like, so how's your back doing? And she was just like, oh, I recorded that months ago. I was like, months ago? And she was just like, yeah, like I have like hundreds of videos in my draft. I was just like, are you for real? Like, I thought you cosplayers just...
Over 200. Just
you have over 200?
Over 200 videos in my TikTok drafts right now.
Wow.
I have like transition videos that I've started that I haven't finished. That is just like, if I need to do a transition video, I already have a bit of it left. Like I have funny videos that I've taken that I haven't edited. Like it's so much now. I got to go through it and clean it out, honestly.
That's crazy. I'm sitting here thinking like, hey, I'm just going to put on a costume today, do a video recording, and that's it. And I'm like, no, they're already saved. But I really think that's cool. And, one of the cool things about TikTok and when it comes to cosplaying because of the pandemic, it gave a lot of people room to, show off their stuff and show off their work. And like how you said, you had that video that went viral. And then after that, it just snowballed and you just kept on putting out content. And, just having so many people love your work. Now, I know when I was, doing my research and putting the slideshow together and whatnot, I had saw like all of the cosplays that you had done and whatnot. And I just think that it's so cool that you were able to take the time during the pandemic to, really focus on this. And like, you have some amazing costumes that you've done. Like I said, the Raven that you're wearing right now, and then you already mentioned Starfire. And I was just like, okay, yeah, she's a Teen Titans nerd. And then you mentioned that you're a huge comic book nerd and all that stuff. So I really think that that's cool. So with, the pandemic is still going on and like some cons, they have started running again. Did you go to any of the cons last year when they started running?
I didn't go to any of the cons last year because I actually had my first child last year.
Oh, congratulations.
So, thank you. So I was being a mom for majority of the year. Well, I'm a mom all the time, but I was focusing on being a mom for majority of the year. But I am going to BlurredCon this year in the summer. That's going to be in DC. I will be there.
Nice.
And that's going to be like my first con. Like I went to a Comic-Con back when I was like really young. Like my aunt had took me to it and like, cause she knew I was into anime and mangas and she took me to that. So I haven't been to one since I was literally like a little kid. I think I was like 13.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm excited to go back and like hopefully see some people that like I follow and that I like really like on like online and on TikTok.
Yeah, that's awesome. BlurredCon is something that I've always wanted to attend to. Hopefully I can go to it this year if I'm not wrestling, because that's something that conflicts with me going to cons is if I have a wrestling show that I have to do. And, your boy has to put wrestling first because, I'm trying to slam people. You know what I'm saying? But, oh, what was that?
I said, I feel that.
Yeah. So I want to ask you now, like out of all of the costumes that you've done, what are some of your favorites?
Some of my favorites. It's so hard to choose. I love all the things that I do. I know like Harley Quinn has a close place to my heart. I love her. And I have so much fun making content with her, like just being crazy and all over the place. So I love doing that. I just recently got my Zenitsu. I've been doing him because I'm in love with Demon Slayer. Like everybody's like really into Demon Slayer now, but I've been watching it last year. And so I really like doing that one. Probably like one of my old school, like Molina will always be close to my heart. Molina was my very first one. And I loved Mortal Kombat since I was like a really little kid, like old school Mortal Kombat. So Molina will always have like a close place to my heart. Anytime I see anyone cosplay her, I'm just like, I love seeing her. But yeah, I love all the characters that I do, but those have to be like some like the ones that I've done multiple times.
Yeah, That's awesome. I know, like, out of the ones that I've seen you done, of course, I love your Raven. I love your Killua. I just finished watching Hunter x Hunter back in 2020. I had started in 2020 and I finished it. And it was one of those animes where it's like, when I first started watching it, I was just like, it's okay. But then once I got past like the hunting exam stuff, I was just like, oh, okay, now I see why everybody loves this series. So I really loved your Killua. And then, like you just mentioned, your Zenitsu. I love Zenitsu. I love, it's crazy because it's like he's such a badass, but he doesn't even know it. And
yes,
that's one of the things that I love about him. And, with Demon Slayer, it's about to end. Season 2 is about to come to an end. And it's crazy because I was just telling my co-host how the first 6 episodes where they redid Mugen Train, like that counts as season 2 as well. But I thought that they did a really good job. The animation is on point. And I love that Demon Slayer, it's reached, such a popularity now where it's like people just love it. It's one of the highest grossing anime films in Japan. It beat out Spirited Away, I believe. I think that was
it's becoming really big, and I like what you said. The animation is really top tier. Like the fight scenes of like the last episode that just aired, the fight scene, I was literally like on the edge of my seat. They put some attention and care into that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. And I love My Hero Academia, and the animation for that is really good too. And for certain fights, like the budget is really, really good. But man, I just feel like whenever I watch Demon Slayer, I feel like the budget for that is just on point from the start of the episode all the way to the end. It's just like it never dies down, and like it deserves that. It's one of the most popular anime in the world right now. And I mean, you have Demon Slayer, you got Jujutsu Kaisen, which is another popular one, and of course My Hero Academia is a popular one. But I know that the fandom, it can be kind of split. Like I know people who started watching it when it first started, and then they kind of fell off of it. But hopefully people get back in it once season 6 starts, because that's really good. And then of course you got Attack on Titan. I know the joke right now is because the Super Bowl is this Sunday. Well, by the time this episode airs, the Super Bowl would have aired. But people are like, I'm hyped for the Super Bowl, but then you got the nerds just like, nah, I'm hyped for Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, son. But no, but yeah, like that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, of course about BlurredCon, and of course about your favorite costumes. Are there going to be any new cosplays that you're going to debut at BlurredCon, or because this is going to be like your first convention, you're just going to debut everything that you already have?
Well, by the time BlurredCon gets here, I would probably have had like 10, 15 more cosplays. I have no idea what I'm going to wear. I'll probably at least bring one of my classics that I've like done a lot, because I would hope people would recognize me. Like I have a following of over 14,000 now on TikTok.
Nice.
So I was like, I might be recognized by somebody. So I do want to wear something that like I'm known for. But I hope to have like some like big cosplay by then. Like I want to have something like with like a fake weapon and stuff. Cause I'm a big weapons person. I love collecting swords and knives and stuff. So I found a couple of pages that do like commissioned work for building like those anime weapons. Like there's a girl who did Deanne's hammer. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I want stuff like that. So hopefully when I go to BlurredCon, I can pop out with something like major.
Yeah, have something huge, something that people aren't going to be expecting. I feel like that's always the cool thing when it comes to cosplaying, because the props and stuff like that, like they go a long way. Of course, you can just wear, whatever costume that you want to wear and cosplay as. But when you have like a legit weapon and it just looks so awesome, that's extra brownie points. Now, I want to ask you this. When you go to BlurredCon, are you going to enter the cosplay contest that they be having?
No, I am a big person to contest. Like, I win costume contests during Halloween every year, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to go up against big boys when it comes to cosplay. I might try just to like throw my name in the ring. But I'm gonna definitely have to make sure I come with like my P's and Q's. Like I already like when it comes to my cosplay, I like to have the wigs and like the contacts and stuff. Like I like to have like the whole shebang when I put a character together. So hopefully I can do something real big that will like be noteworthy, that like I can actually have a chance.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I mean, well, if you want to go there and you have like an awesome prop, I mean, that will stick out. But I think for the props, I think that you have to make it yourself. I'm not sure. I don't know how the rules work. You know what I'm saying? But if you do enter a contest, I hope that you win, because like I said, like all of the costumes that you have, they're awesome. And, you know, you already, you know, have experience in entering contests and winning them. So, you know, who knows? You know, I got my pinky up because I'm rooting for you. I root for everybody that I interview up here on Who's That Cosplayer. So now I want to kind of, you know, take the conversation into a different direction. Since we talked about your cosplay stuff, and I want to know now, like, what are some of your hobbies that you're into when you're not cosplaying?
Who's That Cosplayer? The third pharaoh.
Well, I love everything art related. I'm an artist. I graduated from ODU at 18 for art. So
Congrats.
I like to, so I do modeling. I do like drawing and design type work. Like I have a henna business, and I've been working on music. I released my EP back in 2020. Yeah, 2020. I released my EP. So I had a joint EP released last year, and so my thing this year is working on my album. So when I'm not cosplaying, my team gets on me all the time. They're like, "You're so into your content creating, you're so good at it, but you don't be working on your music." And I'm like, I know. I'm just so comfortable cosplaying.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been pushing myself to get more back into my music and modeling outside of cosplay, because I kind of just became a cosplay like model, but I'm trying to get back into doing like fashion and editorial and doing some cool stuff. So, but it's always centered around arts or cooking. That I love cooking. So.
Hey, all right. What's your favorite dish that you like to cook?
My favorite, anything with seafood. I'm a big seafood nut. Like I'm always making shrimp scampi. I love a good shrimp scampi, but I know my friends love when I make pastelillos, which are like Puerto Rican empanadas. That's what a business that I have for my food. My friends love when I make that. And then I have a Cajun chicken and sausage, like Alfredo that I make. That's like, Alfredo's like basic, but my friends also love that. But I'll try anything. I've been really experimenting with proteins lately. I've been cooking like pork chops. I got some like filet mignon, some scallops, because I'm really big into like the cooking show. So now I'm trying to like really chef it up.
Hey, have you ever thought about cooking something and then tagging Gordon Ramsay and like, hey, rate my...
I'm not trying to get demolished. he would rip my plating to shreds just in general. Cause I be trying to like do some plate and stuff. And then like I look at it and next thing I know, the food's just on the plate. It's just all on the plate. And I'm like, you know, just eat it.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like some of the people who he demolishes, it's like their food looks good, and he's just like, you donut, yeah, and this and that. I'm just like, I mean, like it looks good. I understand it's not no $1,000
trash.
It's just crazy, but no, like everything that you just said, it sounds good to me, and I think that it's cool that you know that you're modeling, you know, you love art, you're doing music, and I'm definitely gonna tag the link in the video once it gets posted on YouTube, so that way people can go and check out your song and whatnot. But I just love that, you're a jack of all trades. You have so many tools in the toolbox, and I really think that that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So you get another pinky. Hey, that's the first time I've given 2 pinkies to somebody. So yeah, that's awesome.
Special.
I feel like D, because my co-host Rebellious D, he always gives people thumbs up, and he tells them, only use it in case of emergency. And I guess when you put your thumb up, he magically appears and he saves you, whatever situation that you may be in. So I guess if you get a bunch of pinkies, I guess if you need help, I'll come and I'll slam somebody for you. I guess I don't know. I mean, it's like the video game, and this is the next question I was going to ask you, but when you would play like those old beat 'em up games and you would hit the assist button and like Marvel vs. Capcom, and somebody would just come swinging, they would do something and they would go away. That's what we do here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So get into the video game question, because you said like Molina, she has a special place in your heart. I already know Mortal Kombat is top tier up there for you. How did you feel about the Mortal Kombat movie?
I expected a little bit better because, like, obviously my girl Molina was in it,
Yep.
and I wanted to see her go ham, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, it was nice, but I expected so much more. Hopefully, because it obviously set up to have a second movie.
Yeah.
So hopefully the second movie will like really come in like guns blazing and the fights like woo. But I was like, a lot of people got eliminated in the first movie, and it was kind of lackluster for me.
They took Kung Lao right at the start.
I was a little hurt. I was like, you gonna do my peoples like this?
Yeah, it was wild. Then you had Jax walking around with them little tink on. I'm like, come on. Like, I was just like, I mean, like, it was an okay movie, but I'm just like, why he has to, you know, defeat somebody in order to unlock his arm. Like, I didn't like that feature of the film, and the fact that Cole was able to defeat Goro, I'm just like, Cole, like, who is this guy?
Yeah, the writing was a little.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that we can both agree that the movie was better than Annihilation, because, that movie. I don't know when's the last time you seen that, but
that's old. Because I remember they were supposed to release a movie. I don't know if you remember. It was years ago. There was a trailer released on YouTube that was supposed to be one where
where it was like realistic.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be Sub-Zero was supposed to be the main character, and it was supposed to like follow him because it was like the police crew was like trying to like solve these like murders. Yeah,
that came out. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a YouTube series or something like that because Michael J. White was in it and he was Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they were like normal people and whatnot. So that came out, but I never watched it though. I feel like there was a time period where, you know, that came out. There was a Street Fighter series that came out as well. And I don't know, like I just wasn't watching YouTube like that. And people get on me.
So I was like, that just the trailer looked like it had potential to be a good like blockbuster movie because the trailer had me like, ooh. And then it just disappeared, and I was like, and then this is the movie we get, and I was like, oh.
This the best you got?
No, I was like, oh, okay.
Nah, I feel that. But what are some other video games that you're into?
My biggest is Tekken. I love fighting.
Hold on. All right, you playing Tekken? You know, my boy is Harang. You know, can't nobody touch me when I play with Harang. You gotta let me know, who do you play with in Tekken?
Alyssa.
Okay.
Alyssa. And I be throwing my head all over the place. Like her in the song, I'll be like, Yatsuki! Like that's my girl. I play with her online. Solid. Her, or like I might go to Lily if I'm like getting tired of using her, but Alyssa's my girl.
Yeah, I just stick with Harang and that's it. And I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things, like just growing up, I used to love going to the arcades, and I used to love beating dudes when they would be with their girls, and then they'd be talking all this crap and everything, and I was like, all right, come on, bring that ass here, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that. And because we live in the same area, we live in Virginia, Pixels in downtown Norfolk. When they first opened up, they had a Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet there. And I want to say, like, I was just destroying people left and right. Like, people kept coming up there. And, you know, of course, it was a lot of younger people, too. And I'm just like, man, I was playing this game when I was a kid. So it's just like, you're going to have to step your game up if you want to come at me. And, like, my boy, he was just like, man, like,
Tekken is one game. Tekken is one game people can't see me in. Like, my dad is a big video gamer. He builds arcades and stuff for like his own personal business. So all of me and my siblings grew up with video games. So my younger siblings, they can kick my butt in the new age stuff any day. But then I'd be like, put Tekken on, let's go. Every time I whoop their butts. Every time. That's the one game that I have utmost confidence in.
You know, you saying that, it reminds me of that video where the dad, he had put GoldenEye in the Nintendo 64, and like He was just sitting there screaming at his son. He was just like, "Nah, you about to get that ass whooped. This ain't no Call of Duty." His son tried to leave. He was like, "No, come on back." So I feel you on that. Like Tekken is one of those things, and now it's like I'm challenging you to a fight because we got to see who's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know where they have Tekken 5. I don't know, not Tekken 5. I'm sorry. Ooh, that's too old. That's too old. Tekken 6. I don't know any places around here that have Tekken 6 in the arcade.
The only place, because I think it was Buku Resto. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have a game night during the week, and you could play Tekken. They would have like people like playing Tekken competitively, but I don't know because it's the off season now because it's like winter still. Yeah. So I don't know if like maybe when the spring comes they'll do it again. But I remember seeing it, and I used to always want to go, but I had to work. Yeah. I'd be like, oh man. I was like, because I would take all y'all out.
Man, and see, like that's the crazy thing, man, because I know I had went to NecoCon. It was a couple of years ago, and it was my first time ever playing Tekken 7. Yeah, it was Tekken 7. And like this dude, like he whooped my ass. And I was just like, dang, man, like they changed some of the controls up here now. Like they got specials and everything. I was like, put on Tekken 5, man. And what's crazy, there's this video game convention in PA called Too Many Games. And they had like all these arcade cabinets around. And I went right to Tekken 3. And me and this dude, we just kept on going back and forth, collecting wins on each other. I was just like, okay, man, like good. So yeah, I'm challenging you to Tekken. And we're going to have to throw down and we're going to have to record it. D, he's good at Tekken. Trav, he's good at Tekken. We just going to have to make it this huge event. It's going to be called Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks Grand Tekken King of the Iron Fist Tournament. And I'm going to win it. I'm just saying it now, but yeah.
Oh, challenge accepted. Okay. I like when people talk smack. Challenge accepted.
Hey, I talk smack and I win. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I am.
I don't talk smack. I just let my skills show.
Okay. All right. Look, if you beat me, then I'll just put my head down and I'll just walk away. But I don't see that happening. So that is a challenge that's going to happen one day. So the next question that I want to ask you is, because this is Black History Month, I ask all of our guests this: who is one of your favorite Black characters in pop culture?
In pop culture. Whew.
I know it's a hard one.
Yeah, I'm like, my head is just like running through people, but it's like, who as of lately? Like specifically what, like in like entertainment or just like in?
Yeah, it could be anime, comic books, video games, TV shows. It could be Michonne from The Walking Dead. I mean, but that's a comic book too.
So what, even fictional or real?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. I'm like, that's so hard. I'm like, I'm literally just flipping through. Yeah.
So, hey, you could use one of those pinkies and I'll give you two.
Man. Jeez Louise. Well, I guess there's so many people, honestly, but as far as like who I've been really like paying attention to lately is Kiera Please, the cosplayer. Like, I look up to her so much. She's like one of the people that like really made me want to get into cosplay more too, because I've been following her for a couple of years. And lately she's just been like rocking it. Like she's been like doing a bunch of work. I've been seeing her do like commercials and like cosplay and acting, and now she's on Twitch. And so she's like has a big impact on me. Like I'm always like watching what she's doing. And she's such a good soul. She's like such a kind person. And that's like something really big with me. It's just like being like really just nice and kind and just influential in a positive way. Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are influential, but in negative ways.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I like how she's like really positive.
Yeah, I really think that that's an awesome choice. And it's crazy that you just said that, because I found out about Kiera Please last year. One of my friends had sent me a video where she was promoting Finna Pirate Princess. And when I had watched the video, I was just like, yo, like this show seems funny. She's funny. I ended up following her after that. And like the cosplay content that she's been putting out these last couple of weeks has been fire.
Dope.
But after she shared that, promoted that video and promoted the anime, I checked the anime out, and then of course, I slid into the voice actors and actresses DMs, and we interviewed some of them up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So yeah, I think that that's a really awesome choice, and that's actually something that I wasn't expecting, because a lot of people, when I ask, who their favorite Black pop culture, person is in pop culture, it's always somebody that's fictional. And you're the first person to actually say like somebody that's not fictional, like a real person. So like, that's really awesome. So we're here at the end of the interview, and I just want to say thank you so much, Queen, for joining me up here on Who's That Cosplayer. And before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
You can find me everywhere pretty much. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Queen Savage, and that's Queen with 3 E's and there's 2 underscores Savage.
Nice. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everybody for watching this interview. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you've been enjoying all of the interviews that I've been doing for Black History Month for Who's That Cosplayer. You know where you can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And then you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, Queen Savage, for joining me. Like I tell you guys every time, keep that pinky up, stay positive. Happy Black History Month. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.